You are now listening to the Backpack Podcast.
It's your boy Jigs. Mr. Fly with a Mig. I pray for her love, but I know that she's a sinner. Shorty like me, got hair like a ginger. I know your love's strong and your heart's even bigger. Come on, let's fly away, take a flight to Ibiza.
All right. Welcome to the latest episode of the Backpack. I'm your host, Samba, and my co-host here is Thomas. Here we unpack our backpack so you can pack up yours on the journey of life. And hopefully we get to do that today. Thomas, what is up, my boy?
Not much, my bad. I definitely said I would do the intro.
It's all good.
Then I was like, come on.
It's all good, man.
My bad.
I took over well. That's
I
all
set
good.
you up for failure.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. I can handle failure. That's all good. What is up?
Good
bro?
job though on the fly.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
But yeah, not much is up.
Cool.
Same old stuff. Kind of tired, but got time to recoup before start the work week.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Yep. And you?
It's been all right. We're all right. Past week has been pretty simple. Nothing crazy. Just work.
Yeah.
The usual. I have been playing a lot of Tekken lately.
Okay.
I'm a big Tekken player.
Yeah.
If any of you guys want the smoke in Tekken, please let me know. These hands are rated E for everyone. You guys can all get it. But yeah,
Didn't you tell me you were in a Tekken tournament one time or no?
Yeah. So
and then you got cocky or something?
Yeah. So I was doing pretty well. I got to third place, and I was doing pretty good. I was like, I was kicking everybody's butt. It was a little too easy. And then second place is I got third place because the person that ended up being second place beat me, but that was because I was just being too cocky. I was like, yeah, I could relax, and I wasn't doing I wasn't focused on combos, and I was just trying to be reckless. But next time I do enter a Tekken contest, I'm taking gold.
Taking the cake.
Everything. It's over.
I'm taking their pride.
Oh yeah. They'll never play Tekken again. I'm taking it all, man. Yeah. I was always a big fan of Tekken. That was my thing, man.
Yeah.
Since Tekken 3, I've been playing. They're on 8 now. So
damn.
Yeah.
It's been a long time then.
Oh yeah. PSP and everything.
Remember that day at the store when you were talking about fighting games when you might have been talking about Tekken? I was like, who's that one guy? And you were you're like, who? And I couldn't remember his name, and I was like,
you said Ryu or something?
No. I said Caillou.
Oh,
I was like Caillou, and you're like that little bald kid. But I was thinking of that guy, Ryu from a different game, I guess.
That's Street Fighter, bro. Yeah, so even then you were way off. Yeah. Name and everything.
Yeah. That was funny though, because you were like,
so
Caillou. Who?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool though.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You were playing that Spider-Man game for a while too, weren't you?
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man 2, man. That game is fire.
That's what I've heard.
If you guys have not gotten Spider-Man 2, I recommend you guys do. One, the traversal is fantastic. Swinging in it's amazing. My favorite thing is the photo mode.
Yeah.
That photo mode it's fantastic. I don't think any game has mastered photo mode like Spider-Man 2 has. Maybe Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo has a good photo mode.
Okay.
But Spider-Man's at.
Yeah. My younger brother Matthew loves those Spider-Man games. I mean, I played the first one a little bit and it was sick, but I'm just really not much of a gamer. So I didn't finish it, but it was fun.
Oh yeah. It's a great game.
I've heard Spider-Man 2. I mean, there's Miles Morales in between them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Spider-Man 2, but I heard Spider-Man 2 was crazy
next
good.
level, dude. Next level. Great game.
That's sick. Yeah.
But let's get into these hot takes, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hot take number 1 of the episode.
Let's do it.
Okay, this one is pretty privilege is real.
Yes.
Okay.
I do think that is real. I mean, how do I even explain that? It's pretty straightforward. I mean, so if you're pretty, you get certain benefits.
Privileges,
yeah, you get certain benefits that unfortunately ugly people do not get.
Yeah.
Even dudes, handsome versus ugly. If you're an ugly dude, you're not getting the benefits that good looking dudes get. You know,
Yeah.
regardless of, you know, your stature or whatever, but like just on looks alone, yeah. If you look good, you do have an advantage. In
You
life.
can become fully successful
Oh yeah.
just by being good looking.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, like, think of models.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, just by being really, really, like, born with great genes.
They don't have to think anymore. They don't have to do
Yeah.
anything. I was actually, my girlfriend and I were just watching that '70s show, and Jackie was trying to be a model, and she's like, I don't have to think or do anything again. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're a model, you make good money. Yeah, you don't have to think. You just got to
get an agent, I guess.
Just
I mean,
just show up and be pretty. You know.
Yeah.
So
even like the current age right now, like a lot of famous TikTokers,
yeah,
it's really just because they're like really appealing to the eye as far as like
that's facts.
just good looking, good looking people.
There are some people that are like dancers, quote unquote TikTok dancers, and they have no skill, but because they look good and doing those few dances, they get crazy followers, and it's like, I mean, yeah,
that was a trend for a while. It was just like young pretty girls would do these TikTok dances badly.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't even do them good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they would like amass a following for some reason. But it's really just because they're like really good looking people.
Yeah, exactly. Or like dudes that have like rock hard abs and like
exactly.
Crazy
Be doing
bodies.
TikToks with their like shirts off. Like 4 other dudes. I'm like, that's kind of sus. But
yeah, and they do these like 4 moves and people rave about
boom,
it.
they're just like, I don't even know.
Like they're just bouncing low key. Yeah, there's no pop locking. There's no.
And then they like laugh at the end. Like,
yeah.
And
like,
you're like
having a good time.
And then the kids are like, dude, this is amazing.
Exactly.
And the adults are like, what is this?
All the real dancers are pissed. There's actually a thing for a while that the dancers of TikTok were being not copyrighted, but like people were stealing their dances
stolen.
Yeah, they're getting their dances stolen, and then it became a whole thing. Like you got the TikTokers versus actual dancers. Actual dancers get no love because they're not like good looking as like, you know what I'm saying? Like
they're not influencers.
Exactly. So it became a whole thing. But yeah, pretty much, yeah, there is such thing as a pretty, what is it called?
Privilege.
Pretty privilege. Someone call it double P right there, bro. Pretty privilege, good looking.
It's kind of crazy because even as far as like, someone being nice to another person.
Yeah.
Some people will only be nice to like people they think are good looking.
Oh yeah,
or something.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I mean that's more on them than anything.
True.
But still, that affects like that's pretty privilege. You know that I'm sure good looking people.
Absolutely.
Experience that all the time.
And it's crazy because I recently was thinking about this for a while. It's kind of related, but some little separated. People that have never gotten the word no said to them, a lot of them are actually good looking. A lot of good looking people don't get told no a lot because for some reason they just kind of get what they want. So when you do tell them no, it becomes a whole huge thing for them. Yeah. Aside from like Karens and like, you know, people that are just like
crazy.
Yeah, like aside from those, but like just people that just like want help and they get help just because they're good looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it in shows and movies too. You know, pretty lady unloading a truck. Hey guys come out. Hey, I'll help you out. But if that chick was ugly, wouldn't be the case. You know, and vice versa. You know.
Yeah. Some people will go the way like hold the door for like 6 seconds. Like it's okay.
Yeah. I'll wait
for like a good looking person.
Exactly.
The ugly person. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be alright.
You can push it yourself.
Right.
You know, on topic of this though, you know what I hate?
Wow.
I hate when like really good looking people, say celebrities or like influencers or something, will complain about, I really struggle with my body image. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
What's it called? Body dysmorphia?
Yeah, I don't even know, but I'm like, you're one of the best looking people on the planet. Or there'll be like something like, I just have to be open about my struggle with acne. I'm just showing the real side of me. It's like a bump. It's not even a pimple. It like looks like maybe like a little. So I don't even know. I'm like, dude, or it is a pimple, like one little pimple. I'm like, there's people who have are actually struggling badly with this, acne, and you're acting like this is the real me, guys. I have to show the real side. I'm like, dude.
Or like people that are like kind of thin and they'd be like, I'm so fat. It's like, how?
They're like bent to have like intentional roles. Let's look at this.
It's like Tina not talking. Tell me,
Not saying like everyone has insecurities and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying you're not allowed to have insecurities. To me, it's just like stop trying to complain and make people feel bad for you. Oh, sometimes I hate the way that I'm like, yeah, but like generally like you're a really good looking person.
Yeah.
And there's people who aren't. So
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. You want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do one more. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of this one? This one I just pulled because I was like, let's just see what you think.
All right, cool.
This one says, it's okay to drive tipsy.
It's okay to drive tipsy.
Yeah.
No. I mean, DUIs are a big thing, especially out here in New Mexico, man. They're a big thing out here, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking and driving.
Oh yeah.
No, tipsy. If you took a shot or you got a beer in your hand, you shouldn't be driving. You know? Get into the passenger seat. Let someone else drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that.
I think unless you genuinely feel completely sober, even if you say you had a beer or something, but you're like I'm fine, like I feel completely fine, then that might be okay.
Yeah, a beer won't.
You're genuinely like if you're drinking, you shouldn't be driving. Like if you're drinking at all, you shouldn't be driving at all.
Yeah.
But like if you have to, and you're like I feel fine, like I'm not drunk at all, and I feel completely normal, then I guess like I'll let that slide sometimes. Yeah. But, if this is tipsy, dude, like no,
tipsy, like it's you are intoxicated, and that's not the case. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, nah, for sure.
Actually, you know what? Let's just say, don't drink and drive at all.
We're helping out the cops, right? Don't drive under the influence.
I've seen people not like in the car with them, but on social media where they'll like post like a Snapchat story, where they're like actually drinking and driving, like they're driving and they're like chugging beers and stuff, and I'm like, bro, that is so bad.
If you screenshot that and send it to like their insurance or something, get their insurance raked up, that'd be hilarious.
Is it like the progressive safe driver rate? If I'm a safe driver, I'll get a it's like the opposite.
Exactly. your rates go up higher, Nah, for sure. Yeah, don't drink and drive. Just don't do it.
Take that for your backpack.
Yeah.
You should have already had that in your backpack.
Okay. We'll give you a freebie for this one. Yeah, man.
All right.
So you said you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Not this weekend. I think it's the fall. I don't know when this episode will come out, but Shane Gillis, the comedian. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I do.
He is hosting SNL, which is really cool.
Yeah. Because
he was cast on SNL. Like this is like his origin story.
Okay.
Because he was a comedian and stuff. But he got cast on SNL. Mm-hmm. And like the day they made the announcement of his casting, someone released an article or went in his past and tried to look for something controversial that he said, because that's what people do.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you like get successful, they're like, let's see what we can find. Mm-hmm. So they did that, and they found like a controversial podcast clip, like of him saying like racist stuff. He was talking about like Asian people. Yeah. And so they canceled him. There's like a bunch of articles came out, and like they canceled him like bad.
Of course they did.
So, he was hired. The day he was hired, like 2 days later, he was fired because they had to, because they were like, he was getting canceled.
Yeah.
And there's a funny joke he told on a podcast where he's like, SNL was really like, they're like, if we could just get you to the first episode, like then everyone will love you and like everything. But like they were having a hard time because, all the heat on them. And he was like,
absolutely.
He like told them, I think he told them like, it's fine, like just fire me. He's like, because I've said way worse.
More's gonna come out.
He's like, if they don't get, like, if this isn't it, they're gonna find something else. Yeah. So they fired him 2 days after he got hired. They fired him, and it was like a big old thing, like in the news and all this stuff. Anyway, fast forward to now, he is like the most popular and best comedian. Like, it's not like he's just popular. He is killing it. He's so funny. Yeah, if you haven't seen his special on Netflix or even the one on YouTube from before, watch him. Yeah, so funny.
Yeah, I see one of his specials. Yeah,
yeah.
He's dope.
His newest one on Netflix. When I watched it, the hardest I've laughed at a stand-up special in like a long time.
Okay, good.
Because like usually stand-up specials, they're like an hour long, 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
And even if they're really good, it's hard to do an hour worth of material.
Yeah, I agree.
And like all of it be like killer stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So usually for like a stand-up special, like the start, you'll be laughing really hard. Then in the middle, there's like some jokes that you're like, that was funny, but like not
ha 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 funny.
Yeah. And then like, so there's like a lot of great moments, but then there's also jokes you're like, it was all right.
Yeah.
That special though, through and through, I was like belly laughing, like dying laughing. Like it was great. You should really check it out if you haven't seen it.
If you guys want a good laugh,
check it out. Shane Gillis on Netflix. I don't remember. I think it's called Beautiful Dogs or something like that. I think so. Beautiful anyway, dogs, yeah, he got fired from SNL. Fast forward to now, he's the biggest and like best comedian right now, and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And then so they asked, now he's hosting SNL, so it's like a full circle moment. You know what I mean? Nice. And a lot of people will say, I'm glad, like comments, they're like, I'm glad that he didn't go on SNL, like make it on SNL, because then I probably would have never heard of him. Is what they say. They're like, right now I know, like everyone knows, and like he put out so much great stuff all these years. Yeah. But if he's on SNL, he would have just been doing SNL stuff.
And it would have been like,
he'd just been another cast member. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't have been, he kind of took the Trevor Noah route. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's pretty dope. I think it's just like a full circle moment. A lot of people are comparing it to like when Norm Macdonald hosted. He got fired from SNL, and then a year later he hosted. Nice. And in his like opening monologue, it was like a great monologue, and one of the jokes was like, I got fired from SNL a year ago because I wasn't funny enough. He's like, how in the past year did I get so much funnier? Because I'm hosting it. Yeah. And he's all, you know what? I didn't get any funnier. He's all, SNL's just gotten way worse.
They're getting desperate at this point.
So like, it was pretty legendary, and people are saying like he needs to have like a moment like that. So
well, hopefully he does.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch it for sure. I like SNL though. I've always like loved SNL.
Yeah. I will enjoy
even like
type shows. So
in recent years, I get like they've fallen off as far as, I think it's just because they went so political, and a lot of people don't like that, including myself. I don't really like that. Yeah. So when they do the political stuff, I'm not really a fan of it at all. Okay. But overall, in general, SNL is just like a legendary thing, and I just love comedy. So, but I'm really looking forward to watching his episode. I hope it's great.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let me ask you something. Since you're a comedian, and cancel culture has been on a ride these past like 10 years, right? How do you feel about being in the comedic realm? Are you worried about getting like canceled? Are you? Is it something that you think about constantly?
Truthfully, no. I mean, sometimes I guess it's always in the back of your mind. I don't even think just in comedy, but I think in anything. Yeah. If you're like publicly doing it, it's probably in the back of anyone and everyone's mind who's doing something that's kind of like that. Yeah. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna say what I want. I don't really care. Even on this, like, I'm not afraid to say like a joke if it's controversial or something, even though typically I don't really say controversial stuff, so I guess that's another reason why I'm not really worried about it. But
you're not like reckless anyway.
But taking like Shane Gillis again, for example, like he just does whatever he wants and he doesn't care, and he says like crazy stuff, not crazy stuff, but he says like stuff all the time, but like it's funny, and it's like as if you're just hanging out like with your friends, like, and people love him. Obviously there is a lot of people who still like, because he is hosting SNL, like a bunch of articles came out, SNL casting or having the host homophobic or racist, and like, so there is obviously, but you just have to ignore them. You know what I mean? Ignore those people and just do what you want to do. So I'm not really worried about it, and I'm not gonna mask anything that I think is funny. For the sake of being like, oh, but I don't want to get canceled. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because honestly, I think cancel culture is kind of like just a made up thing. Like,
it is.
Like if you ignore it, like,
it is.
You kind of don't. It's like bullying. They're like, don't give them the power. Like, don't like get all mad at them. Stop it. Like, if you don't give them the power, then they have no power. And it's the same thing with cancel culture. Like, if you kind of just ignore it, it depends what it is. If the person's done something really bad and they deserve, that's why I think it's kind of good and bad. If, like, some people deserve to be canceled, getting exposed for like crazy weird stuff. Yeah. But like the other stuff, most of the time, 90% of the time, I hate it. So I don't know. I guess I'm not afraid of it. Okay. Until I get canceled, then I'll no.
and then you'll be like, "Dang, I'm sorry." You put out an apology video or something, right? Nah, I mean, well, if you get canceled, that means you got big enough. So that's
there. You go. I think that's a lot of what cancel culture is too. Is just people wanting to see other people fail. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And part of it, I don't know if you remember, like a while ago, talking about how like social media has created a place for other people to meet other people just like them. Mm-hmm. So like back then, like I also mentioned this in the book too. Like back then, if someone's offended, they just voice their opinion and keep it moving. But now, since you're on social media, you can, in that comment section, you can say something like, "Oh, that's offensive," and then you'll find another 30, 40 people that agree. And then those 30, 40 people will turn into 100, 200, 300, and it'll just grow. And or if you post about it, like, "Hey, this person did this," you're going to find someone that's going to be offended. Yeah. Now, just imagine that on a larger scale. That's what's happening. So now cancel culture is a bunch of people that just come together and just be offended rather than being offended by themselves. Yeah. And it's awful.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate it. Even if somebody did something absolutely terrible, like, I don't know, shot somebody, I'm like, "Oh, dang, that sucks." But they're still funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't connect the person to the material. I still want to see the material.
It's the way they say, like, I can't think of the exact, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Disconnecting the artist from the art or something like that.
Yeah. Like, I'm a big fan of Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate Chris Brown because of the whole Rihanna thing. And he was abusive and he had anger issues. I stopped caring after a week. You know, this man just put out a whole new album. He's about to go on tour. I still listen to him. Yeah. I have no problem listening to him, you know?
It's kind of the same thing with like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Exactly. How can, like, I can't not listen to Michael Jackson, even if he did do all that stuff. Like, it's really hard for me. Like, he was so great, and I like his music so much.
Yeah,
it's
like at some point, I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, he was a terrible person, fine, but his music was fire. You know, like I can't stop listening to Michael. Like, that's not gonna happen.
For me, it just, I don't know. I guess it depends what the person does and stuff.
Well, yeah, if they do something like crazy, like rape or something, like, then
orgies with kids or something.
Yeah. Like that's out of pocket. Yeah, that's no way. But like if they just say something like slightly racist or like
like offensive or like a joke or something, like,
especially if it's supposed to be a joke, you can say the craziest thing. But if you're meaning it as a joke, then I'm not gonna take offense to that. I love racist jokes. I love racist jokes, especially when it comes about like black folks. Love them. If it's a joke, I'm gonna laugh. Yeah. If you're saying it and like you really mean it, then I might have to punch you. You know what I'm saying? But like if it's a
that's
joke,
the thing. If you're out here just like saying racist stuff, just to be racist and with the intention of like trying to hurt the race,
exactly,
then like no. Yeah. But if you're joking and it's funny, then like there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong. Like, joke all you want.
Yeah. I'm glad. That's cool. That's, you know.
Yeah. Take it for the backpack. Just joke.
Yeah. Don't take everything so serious. I think people take everything too serious. Not everyone, but a lot of people, they take themselves too seriously. They take everything that everyone else says so seriously, where it's like not everything is meant to be taken seriously.
And it was crazy. I recently saw a video that said resentment comes from you believing that you can do what other people are doing, right? So if they are hating on it, it's because they feel that they can't do what that person's doing, so they're gonna hate on the person for doing that thing.
Oh yeah.
And ever since I heard that, I'm like, yo, it's facts. You know, like it's absolute facts.
Just like jealousy.
Yeah, it's like jealousy, but in the sense of like, because we judge people the way we judge ourselves, right? So like if you're judging them because they shouldn't be saying that, quote unquote, in your eyes, that means you don't feel as though you can say that. And if you feel that you can't say it, then they shouldn't be saying it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're feeling it. So that judgment comes from there, and that resentment quote was like excellent, man.
Yeah.
It was like mind blowing.
Yeah, that's a great quote.
Oh yeah, man.
A lot of people are saying now about cancel culture though is that it's like, because obviously it's like at first was really bad for comedy, because no one could say anything. And like we are talking about with like comedy movies,
Yeah.
like they suck ass now.
Yeah.
Because people are too afraid to say or do any jokes that are like risque in any way.
Exactly.
But now people are saying that like cancel culture is kind of good for comedy, in the sense that there's so many people that hate cancel culture and push back on it, that like that alone, I don't know. It's like, so like take comedians who get canceled, for example, like just off the top of my head, like most recently, I guess Matt Rife.
Yeah. Love that guy.
Like
cracks me up.
He got canceled for a joke that really wasn't even bad at all. And then he like was not backing down. He responded and he was like, if you've ever been offended by a joke, here's a link to like my apology. And then it was like the special needs helmets or something, like a website or something. But like, if anything, that just skyrocketed him even more, gave him more attention. And like the people who like are like realize like that cancel culture is just stupid.
Yeah.
They get behind him even more. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it kind of gives the person who's getting canceled more of a fan base of the people who are like, that's bullshit, we're going to support you.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Kind of like... No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I don't have an example. I thought I had one, but I don't have an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel you on that.
Yeah, so cancel culture, you know, it's stupid and it's bullshit. But I think we're kind of moving past it as a society. Obviously, there's still people who try to cancel every day.
For sure.
But, you know, I think we've gotten to a point where enough people are like, nah, like just ignore it. So I think that's pretty cool. But like, anyway, I don't want to keep repeating myself. So
Nah, I get you. No worries. Yeah, man. But no, I'm actually excited for you too, man, because you're big in comedy. So I'm really excited to see you.
Yeah.
So let me know when your next show is, man, because the sooner the better, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
The sooner the better.
Just gotta grind at it. You know what I mean?
Man.
They say something like that, like stand up is just crazy long process.
It is.
So I had another comedian tell me one time. Oh no, I saw this on a YouTube video. Maybe a really popular comedian was saying like, so the only way to practice stand up is to do it.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way to get better.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, so imagine trying to learn the guitar, but only 5 minutes at a time. Because like you do 5-minute sets at like open mics and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, imagine trying to learn the guitar, but you only do it 5 minutes at a time. Like how long would that take? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You don't get the, like, even just learning to play an instrument, you can play it on your own time and you can play for hours if you want.
Exactly.
But you can't perform.
You can't if you're not like perform. Yeah, if you're not performing, then
that makes sense.
Even if you're practicing in the mirror and you're always writing,
it's
like
different on stage. Yeah,
you're still not getting that stage experience and getting used to the crowd and like, oh, if I'm bombing, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
How to improvise or how to like, just read the crowd. Yeah, you're
exactly.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I've seen some comedians with like, I might have said this in the first episode, but I don't know. Like their material's not even great. Like it's not bad, but it's not great. But their stage presence is so unbelievably good that they just kill.
Yeah, that makes
just
sense.
because they have so much confidence. And they're so used to being on stage and they know how to like take a crowd. And so, as compared to like new comedians, even if the material's good, like if their stage presence isn't that good, then they're gonna struggle a little bit. So I love stand up. It's like such an interesting form of, I guess art.
Yeah, it's an art. Yeah, absolutely.
To me, because it's just wild. Like go up there and tell jokes and make people laugh. Like it's crazy and it's fun. So
for sure. That actually reminds me of something I was talking about with one of my friends beforehand. How like rap nowadays, right? A lot of people rap, but not a lot of people know how to perform like rappers used to. Like DMX was like a great performer, high energy. He was able to get a crowd like hyped no matter what the moment was. You know what I'm saying? If he felt like I'd never seen him fall, but if he were to fall and get back up, that crowd will still be hyped. You know what I'm saying? Like no one would be like, damn,
where my dogs at?
Yeah, like right, rest in peace, man. But like DMX had a presence on stage, like you said. Like nowadays a lot of rappers do not have a presence on stage. Like the only people that I think that can still perform as rappers are like Nicki Minaj, like Lil Wayne, Drake to some extent. I don't think Drake's too much of a great performer, but he does know how to perform. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like he kind of just does it with himself, kind of. It's a weird thing, but like there's no big like scenes that he's doing. There's no big like he's not doing any flips or nothing. But he's not dancing crazy, you know. But like he knows how to perform.
And is like he has the
you know what I'm saying?
discography.
Yeah.
Like,
He has
good music.
Yeah. So that kind of works in his favor. But like there are people that kind of sit in one spot when they rap, or like they just walk back and forth stage to stage.
Making good music and performing two different
things. Yeah, like Chris Brown. I'm gonna go back to him real quick. That man can perform.
Yeah,
great performer.
Dances and all
dancing. His like the lights, the colors he puts on, like the aesthetic of his shows, fantastic. But like some people just have a white background and they're just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just there's not a lot of performers like they used to be. Michael Jackson, GOAT performer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, crazy good.
So not only does his music top tier, but his performance, his pace stress, his
and that's why he was the best.
The GOAT, absolute GOAT,
because he had everything.
Absolutely.
It's not even just rappers. It's like just all musical performers, I think.
Yeah.
But you're right on the spot. Because even like take for example, like Olivia Rodrigo.
Mm.
You know who that is?
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah, she sang that driver's license. I like her music.
Yeah.
She makes like great music.
Yeah.
But when she first blew up, like however many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago or something, like her first album that she dropped was like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like topping the charts. Everyone loved her. She blew up overnight, essentially.
Yeah.
But then she like did one of those music festivals in the summer or something.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like saying, she's not that great of a performer. Like, she can't sing, like her breath, like she lose her breath when she was singing, and you know, and that's because she was new. She was like 18 or 19 or something.
Yeah.
So like the music was good, but she still had a lot to learn as far as performing, entertaining a crowd, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's a lot of artists.
Yeah. You know who's natural at performing? Doja Cat.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen.
Yeah. I've seen like clips and I've seen like one of her concerts from videos. Great performer. Even from like her first like big show, whatever she did, great performer. And she was like still new. Like this is when her first like actual album came out.
So she just like was a natural.
She was just a natural. Some people are naturals like that. Some people need to learn. So when you were telling me that, 18-year-old girl that doesn't know how to control her breath, that makes sense. That takes time and practice.
And it's been a few years now, and she's like way better.
Oh yeah.
So like it just takes practice.
Yeah.
Everything takes practice.
Oh yeah.
So when you blow up overnight and stuff, it must be hard to like, I got to entertain these people. I don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah, with a whole new pressure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's as different than just being in the studio by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But
so that means you got to get up on stage.
Yeah.
Like
they say, like any stage time is, there's no bad stage time. It's like a saying in stand up. Like any stage time you can get, you should take it.
Do it.
I'm still getting there. I
mean, if you want, bro, I'll be in the crowd and I'll just hold up signs.
I
don't know if that'll help or not, but I'll
it's crazy. I have such bad stage fright, and that's one of the things that holds me back from being consistent and like really doing comedy, like really doing it, is because I have such bad stage fright.
Yeah,
and it sucks, but like, it is what it is.
Well, this would be something that you could take for your backpack. I too have really bad stage fright. I used to play the piano a lot, and for one of our high school's winter concert, I had to play. Walking up on stage, my hands were shaking, sweaty. Even as I sat down, my legs were vibrating. Like I was just concerned about messing up. The hardest part is getting on there. That's the hardest part.
Oh yeah,
the hardest part. So here's a good tip for your backpack personally, or actually anyone that has stage fright and they want to kind of overcome
public speaking of any kind.
Because public speaking is actually like the number one fear on the planet, apparently, which is like crazy, right? So first thing is managing to get up there. If you can't get up there, then there's no point of you doing the rest of these other tips, right? So 1, get up there. 2, embrace that fear. Embrace it. Cool. People try to fight fear, and that usually causes them to go against it a lot, right? Because us as humans, it's actually linking to like stress, which is what I want to talk about later. But like we constantly have to adapt, right? So if we put ourselves in situations where we have to adapt, we will.
Okay.
So you just have to put yourself in those situations, and you will adapt. Your body will start to get used to it. You'll start to see it differently, the whole nine. So getting on stage is number one, and number two is embracing that fear. Be like, even say it, like, yo, I'm afraid right now. I'm nervous. People will understand that because everyone's scared. Everyone's nervous. So if you even just say that as part, like, as you're opening, yo, I'm terrified to be up here or something, that will turn the pressure off, because now everyone knows you're afraid, and they can kind of just see that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, I'm done. Now let me move on with that.
I already like addressed not the elephant in the room, but to me, what was the elephant in the room?
Exactly. So now that pressure's off you, and then more is about, okay, cool. Now they know I'm afraid. So if I mess up, they just think it was because I was afraid. They won't think I'm messing up because I'm just messing up.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of changes how your mind sees it. So
the thing with me is, like, it takes so much for me to get up there, because obviously, like I said, the stage fright and fear of public speaking. Yeah. Takes so much for me to get up there, but once I'm up there, I'm like, and I'm in it, I'm having a great time. I'm so happy, and I'm like loving it. Yeah. And then when I get off, best feeling. I'm like, dude, fuck yeah, I did it, and I did good, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I've like every time I've done stand up, I've done pretty good. There's been a few times where I haven't done that great, but I've like never bombed, knock on wood.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna happen at some point, but
it's bound to.
Like, I've even the first time I went up, like, I did good. So like, it's all for me. It's just getting up there.
That's the hardest part, man.
The first time I did an open mic, you can ask my friend. We went for weeks, and we would just watch, and he'd be like, "Are you gonna sign up?" And I'm like, like, I was just trying to work up the courage, and we did this for weeks. Yeah, just kept going, and then I wouldn't sign up, and I'd be like all disappointed in myself, and then eventually one week I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I went up there, signed my name, and I was like, now I can't turn back. Yeah. I was sitting in my seat the whole time, nervous as hell and stuff. And I was like thinking, should I just leave?
That would have been like, because I was up next nervous. Is Thomas, and you would have seen you like out the door. But then I went up there. He even introduced me as a first timer. He's like, first timer, and I was like, oh. Right. And then I went up there, and I think I opened up with like, I addressed it like you said. I was like I was really nervous to come up here. I'll be honest. I was like really nervous to come up here. And then the friend I was with, his name's Everett. Shout out to Everett. I was like, and then my friend Everett, he put into good perspective for me. He was like, you're probably gonna fucking suck your first time anyway. So and I was like, thank you for the motivation. There we go. And then I did good. So nice. It, like I said, and I've said this I think 3 times now. For me, it's just about getting up there. Once I'm up there, then I'm pretty good. So, embrace that fear, bro. Embrace.
I just fear. Gotta embrace it. Gotta learn to overcome it.
Fear is good. People think fear is such a bad thing. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and like on several episodes of Doctor Who, he says like fear is good. Fear keeps you fast. Fear keeps you alert. Fear keeps you alive. Okay. So like fear is a good thing. Embrace that fear.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. I'm gonna take that in my backpack.
Oh yeah.
Like you said,
embrace that, bro. It's good.
Thank you for the tip.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro. Oh yeah, sure. I need to see you though, so let me know when you're going.
I'll let you know.
I'll have like a Thomas head. You know what I'm saying? Like a poster board head. You know, just be in the back, like woo. I'll treat you on. Even if you're bombing, I'll be the one laugh you get, bro. Don't worry.
I appreciate that.
You got it, bro.
I'll let you know though for sure.
Please do.
Yeah. And if I'm ever doing bigger shows, I'll post it. So anyone who wants to go see me can.
Let's do it, man.
Make me more nervous.
Yeah. Put that pressure on him. Let's turn him into a goat. Let's turn him into a goat.
You want to get into stress though, right?
Yeah. So I kind of already touched a little bit on it, but yeah, I definitely want to get into stress. I had a couple of people that were asking me about ways to make money, ways to like improve their lives and things like that. And I told them it's a stressful thing, right? Being successful is not an easy thing. So I don't think I'm the most successful person. I'm not. Like, I'm comfortable, right? I'm making decent money. I'm not like down and out, you know. I'm all right. And to get to that point, at least to create that foundation to become successful, it's a lot of stress, and you have to be able to manage that. So if you can't handle stress, then you will fail because you won't be able to get past all the problems that's going to come up with, correct? Because you always hear things like more money, more problems, right? Everything is going to be a problem. No matter what step in your life, there's something that you have to overcome, and that's going to cause stress. If you can't handle that stress, you will stop. You will try to avoid it. Here's the tip. Do not avoid the stress. embrace it, just like the fear.
Same thing
right?
with the fear.
Same thing with the fear, right? Embrace that stress. Don't when people say I don't know how to handle stress, they think handling stress is avoiding it, and then really handling it is taking it in, taking an L if you have to take that L, and then learning to adapt and overcome. Right? Humans naturally are stressed. Naturally, if you go back like 100 years, we're not as comfortable as we are now in society as we were back then, right? 2,000 years ago, we were
Caveman.
hunting, like we were hunting and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we're hunting. We don't have time to be idle, right? So now, since we're like in society where like hunting is no longer a thing, we can get food easily. All our main needs are easily accessible. So now we just got to focus on things that we want to do.
But now they got replaced by like other
things that can quote unquote stress us. But since they're not really like super, instinctive things to stress about, we stress about it even more. So what we need to start doing is embracing the stress that we're feeling, because that's just a natural thing that our body's going to do regardless. And then start working towards moving past that. So stress is, people think it's an emotional thing, which it is. It's not like entirely not an emotional thing, but stress is like a reactive thing. So you're just reacting to what's happening. And from there, you can learn to move forward without having to be stressed, because you're going to be stressed regardless. So now if you become stronger and handle stress a lot better, anything that comes your way, you'll be like, all right, I can take care of it. I can take care of it. I can take care of it. I can move past this. And that's where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah. So what are you stressed about, Thomas?
What am I stressed about?
Yeah.
At the moment, nothing.
Nothing.
No, there's stuff I'm stressed about, but
Nothing like big.
yeah, nothing like
That's fine.
huge life-changing stuff.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, we're designed to be stressed. We're designed to be anxious. Like, I even think anxiety is a form of stress that we're not paying attention to, right? Because like I said, 2,000 years ago, hunting, you had to learn how to survive. You're not stressed because you don't have anxiety because you're busy stressing about other stuff that's like really important. Since you're comfortable, your body's like, okay, what's the next thing I got to worry about? What's the next thing I got to worry about? There's nothing in front of you. Yeah. So put something in front of you that you can focus on. That's why they always say, like, oh, go to the gym. Oh, go do this, go do that. Like, be active, keep your mind occupied. So that's another way you can avoid anxiety and stress, by keeping your mind occupied without having to dwell on what's stressing you.
I think that's a great tip.
Oh yeah, appreciate that.
Because I do think that a lot of people who like have anxiety and like crazy anxiety and stuff like that, I don't know if they have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. Different people, different cases, that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
like if you do have something to kind of occupy your mind at all times and you don't have time to be like have anxiety about a lot of stuff. I mean, you still will. Everyone has anxiety, but
it's a natural thing. But
try to keep your mind occupied. I think that's a great tip.
Yeah, that's really what you need to do. Yeah, because like if you think about it, a lot of people that have anxiety, or at least a lot of men that have anxiety, they play a lot of video games, because video games keep your mind occupied, right? I'm a high function. I did some research. I have high functioning anxiety.
Okay.
Right. So I'll be anxious the entire time, never comfortable, but you'll never see it on my face. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always like, all right, I'm just gonna keep moving past this. I can play video games for 4 days straight. Easily. I've done it before when I was in high school, right? Easily, without a second thought. I'll stop to use the bathroom and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But theoretically, I can do that constantly. I actually wanted to be a gamer Twitch guy at one point, but that kind of mentality to keep your mind occupied, that's what's kept me from losing my shit, honestly.
Yeah.
So keep your mind occupied. If you are anxious about things, that's probably because you don't have anything to occupy your mind. There's nothing for you to focus, and your body is like, okay, what's the next thing I have to worry about? Because we're adaptive humans. Like, we're constantly learning. That's how we progress, right? We went from hunting to gathering to creating society, creating a sewage system. We're adapting nonstop, right? So since we're adapting so well, our body's like, what's the next thing that we have to adapt to?
Yeah.
And that's where the anxiety comes from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say something. Give me 1 second.
No worries. I can vamp for a little bit longer if you want.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Even as far as that goes, anxiety. Mm-hmm. I've realized a lot of the time, if I'm really, really, really anxious about something, say when I was in school, homework.
Yeah.
And I'm like you're so stressed out. You stress yourself out like crazy over like an assignment that you didn't get done.
Yeah.
Or like you're like you don't know if you will get it done, and you like freak out and like about it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, almost anytime you have so much nervousness about something like that, it always ends up like being fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
absolutely. It's worse in your head. It's 1,000 times worse in your head than in real life. Even like when I was getting in trouble from my parents and like I'm waiting for my dad to like spank me or beat me or whatever, like it was much worse in my head because after I was, I'm like, okay, oh no, it sucked, but it was all right. Like, you know, like it's not the end of the world. It's not death. You know what I'm saying? Like I always think of the worst myself. Like in every situation, I'm like, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? If that's not gonna happen, then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, am I gonna die from this? No. You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna go to jail for this? No. Will I lose a limb? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at things.
Yeah.
Because that happened to me a lot. Just like get so stressed out about something, I'm like freaking out about it. Then you think about it like 2 weeks later, you're like,
what was that about?
I don't even remember that. Like it wasn't even a...
Yeah. Well, that's also because it hasn't happened yet too, right? You stress about the things that's coming up, but not the things that's already in front of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not worried about walking. But if you're thinking about how far you have to walk, then you're like, dang, that sucks. I don't want to do this walk. While you're walking, you might not even notice it. It might still suck, but it won't be as bad. Because now you're like, okay, cool, I'm still doing it. Your body is no longer worried about the walking because now you just got to focus on finishing. So now it's a matter of finishing rather than...
That's actually one of the reasons I don't like hiking. Throwback to, I think, the first or second episode.
Yeah.
Is because while I'm hiking, if I'm on a hike and I'm like, dude, this sucks. I'm thinking the whole time on the way up the hike, I'm like, dude, we're going to have to walk this whole way back. We're going to have to do this whole thing again.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking ahead of time, like, oh, that's going to suck.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, you always just freak out about stuff, like you said, that hasn't happened yet. And then once you get past it, it's like, usually fine.
Yeah. I mean, even like on dates or like...
Oh, yeah.
You know, those first date jitters. The first date is never as bad as you... I mean, unless you run into like some really bad situations, because that has happened, you know, that can happen. But most of the time, your first date is just awkward because you're just nervous. You're just worried about what the other person's thinking. There's no certainty. There's no communication because you don't know how to communicate yet. So it turns into, dang, what's my next move? What's my next move? What's my next move?
Overthinking,
right? But it's just how we naturally are, right? We constantly stress about what we have to do next. So if you focus on what you have to do now rather than what you have to do next, that's nothing you can do to avoid that stress. Nice. So if I'm on a date and I'm like, the girl's in front of me, instead of saying, hey, what's the next thing I'm going to talk about?
Live in the moment.
Like, okay, you know what? It's quiet. I'll say that. Yo, we're not talking. Let's talk about something. You know what I'm saying? And that will break that tension because now it's like, okay, cool. Obviously, the tension's there. We're stressing about this. Let's just forget the stress about it because it's now out in the open.
Same thing like we said earlier with public speaking. Boom. You address it right away.
It gets out the way, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Full circle.
Oh, yeah, right.
Theme of this episode, full circle.
Full circle. I like that. Full circle.
All right. Should we do some hot takes?
Let's do some hot takes.
This hot take is sponsored by... No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine we put some captions at the bottom. Full circle.
Birthdays are always disappointing.
No, I wouldn't say that. Birthdays are always disappointing. No, they're only disappointing if you have high expectations and you're looking for something specific. If you're just trying to just enjoy your day, you shouldn't have that kind of feeling at all. Like for a very long time, I didn't celebrate my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, for like 10 years. I'll tell you, it's a sad story, but my grandmother died 3 days before my birthday, and I found out on my birthday when I was like 9.
Dang.
Yeah. So all throughout middle school and high school, I barely celebrate. My parents would, do things, but in my head, I was never like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm like, damn, I just lost my grandma. That's all I kept thinking. Yeah. So
that's sad.
It sucked for a while. And up until college, like I made some college friends, and they celebrated my birthday. Like, my girlfriend at the time celebrated my birthday. They made it important. So, and then like even now, like my girlfriend, she goes all out for birthday. She'll do like a birthday week for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a fantastic thing. Also because I'm not expecting anything, so my expectations are low. So everything else is just gonna be fantastic. I could get a hug and I'm like, great birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not expecting anything.
That one was for the record books.
Yeah,
this
right.
birthday.
So, people that say that their birthday suck is because they're expecting something very specific
Yeah.
rather than just enjoying the fact it's their day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like,
That is do all that. Should we do another one?
yeah, we'll do another one.
All right, cool.
But I agree. I think people who are disappointed. Yeah, you just said this. You know, let's move on.
I won't talk too much this next one. I'll let you go first.
This one is interesting.
Ooh.
You should become friends with your ex.
No. I'm gonna let you go first because I could go on for this one.
Okay, yeah. So no,
Yeah.
especially not. You should.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a bad idea. But yeah, no, I disagree with that 100%. I'm not saying that it's bad to be friends with your ex. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it was like a quote unquote healthy breakup, what is a healthy breakup?
Healthy
when
breakups.
people are always like, if they're like, you know, somewhat famous or something, it was a healthy. I'm like, dude, what does that mean? You guys are like, I don't like you. You know what? I don't like you either. Wow, I'm glad we figured that out. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the concept, right? Usually, healthy breakups only happen when there's a good communication, and there's good awareness of the other person's feelings, right? So, a healthy breakup, like a good example, is like if they are in two different places in life. One wants to work in like a different country, one wants to stay here. They communicate and talk about that. It usually takes a while, and then they come to an agreement, like, you know what? This is what we need to do. I need to do this. You need to do this. Let's go our separate ways. That's a healthy breakup in a sense, right? Because there's no ill will. There's no
Just different places in
different
life.
places in life, right? So that's an example of a healthy breakup. How often does that happen?
Not very often.
Not very often, right?
Even in instances where that does happen, I feel like over time, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, turmoil kind of builds still between them.
That's only if they were completely honest in the breakup, right? Sometimes they say, yeah, it's okay, but inside they're like, no, this isn't okay. So it depends on how honest you are. The more honest you are, the more likely you won't have
Or
that
like they could
turmoil.
be like, one of the people would be like, you know, I just don't feel like I'm at a point where I can keep up a relationship. Like, I love you, we had a great time, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I understand that.
Yeah.
But then they go and like date someone else right away. That person's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You
that
liar.
I get. They just didn't want to date you. You know, they just didn't want to date you. It turns out they just wanted to be themselves. They didn't want the pressure of a relationship. Probably, maybe. A lot can go into that. We can make a whole episode on that, honestly. But yeah, no, I would. It's not a common thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but
yeah, no.
but being friends with your ex, no go. No. I don't care how amicable it is, unless you guys have a child together or something.
And you have to
You
co-parent.
Yeah, you got a co-parent or something. Fine.
It's sad how many people get divorced nowadays because you always see people, oh, the best co-parent. He's going to be, she's going to be the best co-parent. I'm like,
yeah.
which makes me think like, damn, a lot of people, like, marriages aren't lasting very much, at least from what you see from the public.
Yeah, there's a statistic saying that it was 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and then those that stay together, only 20% of them are happy. So like marriage is like going downhill. But I think part of that is because they're not choosing the right person in the first place.
100%.
Right.
I was gonna say that actually.
Yeah, like the first step to making a marriage work is choosing the right person.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time with them. Be vocal about all the things you don't like and all the things you do like, to see if you guys are cohesive. Because you can make it work, but that makes it more work, and no one wants to work on a thing that they have to work on already.
Yeah.
Right. So that already is a whole issue. But as far as
You have to be adult about it and like kind of talk about things up front, like, you know, if we have kids, I want to, you know what I mean? Like, even if you just kind of have to.
Yeah. And my dad told me this something when I was like dating in like early college years. He told me if something bothers you in the beginning of the relationship, it will never leave. It will always bother you, and that will eat you alive. So don't let it bother you. Like don't let it continue on. If it bothers you, tell them like straight up. If they can't respect it, then you might have to move on. Like that's kind of the concept you have to go through. Not in a sense where you can't make sacrifices, but you got to make sacrifices. But if something really bothers you, and it's going to be like a decision maker on whether or not you're going to be with this person, if it bothers you early enough, it's gonna bother you later.
Okay.
Yeah, never goes away.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta, when you're getting to know someone, I think a big part is like you kind of what you're saying right there. You gotta notice the red flags. Because sometimes you're so love blind, you don't notice any red flags.
Facts.
So take that for your backpack.
Yeah. Or you'll
if
see
you're like really liking someone and there's red flags, pay attention to them because they do mean something.
Exactly. If it bothers you then, it's gonna bother you later. So talk about it early. Like, hey, listen, I saw that you like to chew your toenails, whatever, right? Like, you know, like it bothers me. Do you have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about it early now. If that's something that they have to do or like there's a habit, see if that's something that they can work on. See if it's something that you can work on. If you can't, leave that relationship because like 20 years later, while they're still chewing their toenails, it's going to drive you nuts and you're going to break up over that. Something simple, right?
Dang,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah. But to answer your question, because we did go on a tangent, no. On the breakup, on being friends with your exes.
So you don't think you could be friends with your ex at all?
Not at all. Because one, if it also depends on the nature of the relationship. If it was just strictly carnal and you guys are just having sex, then maybe, but not. I wouldn't even say friends, but you guys can be acquaintances, and that's if you guys did like.
You guys can be cool,
yeah,
but not like
not friends. Because friends means you talk to them constantly. You guys are close. There's a bond. Like you can't just be friends with anyone.
If they need you, you'll be there for them.
Exactly, right? That like friends comes with responsibilities, and like it comes with a give and take with each person. So if you're giving a part of you to this person that you shouldn't be with, then you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So if you're like friends, nah. Acquaintances, sure. Like if I run into you, oh hey, how you been? Keep it moving, fine. But like friends talk on the phone. Friends, you know, they text each other, they send each other stuff.
Send Snapchats.
Yeah, you know, like I'm not doing that with next.
Yeah, no, facts, definitely
yeah,
facts.
No.
So, what do you think of like people in relationships, and then like one of the people in the relationship is like they have a problem with the other person because they're friends with their ex, and they're like, look, I'm not trying to be like this type of person, but like I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, voice it. If they don't respect it, then move on. You gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because like I said, if it bothers you now, it's gonna bother you later. If they still become friends and then you get invited to their wedding or whatever the case is, you're gonna see that guy, and in your head you're like, "Dang, he smashed my girl." You know what I'm saying? Like that's I mean, hey, I can't do that. I can't do it.
Yeah, sure. I agree 100%. You shouldn't be friends with your ex. It just has like Anyway, again, I'm not gonna. I'm not just gonna sit here and repeat everything. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. Yeah. The theme of this episode was full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
Everything came full circle.
That's nice. I like that.
I repeated.
That was accidental.
I was just like repeating what Samba was saying.
Yeah, no, that was definitely accidental. Hopefully you guys took something into your backpack. As far as stress and anxiety, embrace it. Do not fight it. Let it become part of you so that way you can adapt to it.
Watch SNL this weekend.
Oh yeah. Let's watch my boy Shane. Let's make it happen.
All right. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. Any little thing helps us out, and we appreciate it. So
absolutely. Let's get us big. Let's get big.
Anyway, I guess that's all that's needed to say. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Easy.
I pray for her love, but I know that she's a sinner. Shorty like me, got hair like a ginger. I know your love's strong and your heart's even bigger. Come on, let's fly away, take a flight to